What's up, AnimeBallZ fans? Ray here with another week of What's New Japan. What is What's New Japan, you should be asking? Well, What's New Japan is where I find out what anime is coming out in Japan, and I tell you about it in the hopes that it sounds exciting enough coming from my mouth that you decide to check it out when it finally gets an English release. That being said, let's get started. First series I have for you this week is Ciao, Soku, Henkei, Rosetta. It's an anime tied into a manga, arcade, and card game depicting battles between cars that transform into robots. Now, it's a very short synopsis, I know, but I had to include it simply because of battles between cars that transform into robots. I don't mean to imply that somebody is doing copyright infringement, but that sounds very similar to another anime that I saw back when I was a little kid. Anyway, it looks rather exciting. It kind of looks like Digimon Season 3 meets giant transforming cars, maybe? I don't know. But it still looks interesting. I will definitely be checking this out when it gets an English release, or at least when it's released in Japan. I don't know. But make sure that you check it out as well. The next anime I have for you on my list is an anime called Monsuno. Now, I have actually heard very little about this series, but I have heard of it before. I think this is another one that's tied into cards. I'm not entirely sure. Could have been a video game. Again, I don't know. It's a 52-episode series. It's a shonen series, maybe a bit younger than shonen, I'm not sure. And it centers around reawakened monster DNA that finds its way into the unsuspecting hands of adventure-seeking boys. So definitely sounds like a rather interesting concept. I think it might have been done before, I'm not sure, but definitely interesting. Definitely recommend checking it out. The final anime I'm talking to you about this week is an anime called Tonari no Kaibutsukun. And it follows a young lady named Mitsutani Shizuku, who is the type of person who only cares for her own grades. But when she accidentally delivers lesson notes to Yoshida Haru, he becomes convinced that they are friends. Haru turns out to have a very innocent personality, but who would have thought that Haru would actually confess his love to Shizuku, a cold-hearted girl and super troublemaker romance with a fresh new perspective. Definitely sounds like an interesting one. It does seem like it's a bit girly, but I'm looking at a picture and I see a chicken. Why do I see a chicken? I don't know. I'm going to be watching it just to find out what that chicken has to do with the story, because that chicken looks awesome. Make sure you check it out. It sounds like it might be a pretty interesting series. So at the end of another week of What's New Japan, I've told you about an anime that centers around cars that transform into giant robots, an anime that revolves around reawakened monster DNA that finds its ways into the hands of young boys, and an anime that sounds like another run-of-the-mill high school comedy. Hopefully one of them appeals to your sense of viewing pleasure, and you'll definitely check at least one of them out when they finally get released in English. I've been Ray. I still am Ray. This has been an episode of What's New Japan. Catch you on the flip side.